So when you lose that, how do you get back to that? How do you remind yourself about the service?
And when I get mired down into that, the thing that brings me back out of it and reminds me of my why is going to a school. Like I have to get out of the office and go to a building and be in a classroom, and just being with the kids just reignites that.
Welcome back to the Service Matters podcast. Today we have Mrs. Shaundalyn Thomas. She is an easygoing and flexible person, and she is the elementary English supervisor for Newport News Public Schools, and she also loves watching movies.
I do. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. It's a very apt description.
It is. I'm a very easygoing, flexible person. I like to kind of stay chill and laid back.
Nice. So you mentioned you like movies. What are your top three?
Oh, well, my number one is Notting Hill.
Okay, perfect. Great choice.
I watch it every single time it comes on. I also watch The Day After Tomorrow. Favorite. Watch it every time it comes on. And then I'm into Marvel movies. So I really can't pick just one because I really like all the Marvel characters. Yes.
Okay.
I haven't liked the newer ones as much, though.
Yeah, neither.
I don't think they're as good as...
Well, Hayden says that too. He's more of a Marvel critic than I am. I just enjoy the action, and I just love the characters and the storylines.
Okay.
And my favorite one is Black Widow, and he says that she's not really a superhero because she doesn't have any superpowers, but I think she's a bad chick. So
okay, yeah. She's a hero to you.
It is. Yeah.
Perfect. In Day After Tomorrow, is that the one with Keanu Reeves?
No. It's Jake Gyllenhaal. When he was younger, and it's where there's this big storm, and it freezes the earth, it pretty much resets us.
Yeah, the poster is like the Statue of Liberty holding up the. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I think I haven't seen that one, but I've saw the poster on it.
You're missing out. It's the best. Every single time it comes on, I watch it.
Okay.
So if you had to, obviously the English supervisor, what would you say your English skills are at? High level?
Well, I would like to say they're at a high level. Are you going to quiz me on this?
Maybe. But do you think that it's better than two high schoolers?
I don't know. You guys are very smart. So it may be, and I'm going to still say I have one up on you, possibly. Okay. But I think you're going to try to prove me wrong.
That's our goal.
Okay.
Okay.
We got a grammar quiz for you.
Oh, wow.
Okay. You ready? Time for question one.
All right. Question one. What blank you blank at the weekend? Answer A is does. Answer B is does. Answer C is does do. Answer D is do.
Okay, I think I need to hear the sentence again.
Okay. What blank you blank at the weekend? It's a question.
What blank you blank at the weekend?
Okay. And the
question mark. So
you're interchanging do or does in any order. So either do, what do you, what does you does.
I would say it would be what do you do at the weekend, but the at is kind of throwing me off because it's what do you do on the weekend instead of at the weekend.
She's finding errors in the
quiz.
Hey.
Okay, I think our high school answer is gonna be what do you do? Are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm saying what do you do?
What's yours? What's your answer?
What do you do? But I am questioning the at instead of the on.
Okay, well.
Prepositional phrases matter.
All right, what's the answer?
It doesn't say any answer.
And listen to that. So we're all right.
We're all right in the
end. There are no right answers.
Hold on, with the answer, the one where you're hitting the discrete.
There are no answers.
Good.
Once again, my expertise rules.
Okay.
There are no answers.
Okay.
No right answers.
Okay, I think we're gonna try again. Okay, you ready? Okay, next one.
Confusing words. Okay. A series of blank steps. Discrete or discrete?
A series of blank steps.
So are we gonna have to spell discrete?
Blank steps, yes.
So discrete, meaning very specific steps, and it's spelled DISCREET.
Okay, wait. I think we gotta throw in something different to throw an alternative.
Yeah, let's go.
My first thought is CRETE. So DISCRETE.
E-T-E.
Discreet. And then
Is that
E
a
again.
spelling? I thought
I
there's
think
two
he's spelling it,
E's.
but I'm gonna tell you he's wrong.
I'm trying to throw something different. Okay. Well,
I'm going with the two E's.
yeah, that's the obvious answer. We're gonna throw in something different.
They both got 2 E's, man.
So how was the other one spelled?
Wait, you
What
said
what
D-I-S?
what are the two options?
There is DISCRETE, and then there's the way you spelled it.
Okay, so I think ours is gonna be
okay,
ETE,
Yeah.
and yours is EET.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure discreet is spelled ETE, but now I feel like I don't know.
They're both spelled that way. So
Yeah,
it's just
it's
about
just
the
the
use,
meaning
of the
the
word.
meaning
Oh, so
of
then
the
the
word.
context.
Yes.
A bunch of discrete steps. Okay, I think we're gonna lock in CRETE.
Okay, I'm gonna lock in with mine, but I think I'm wrong. But I'll lock in with mine.
The answer. Do I need the mic?
Oh yeah.
Okay, the answer is DISCRETE. You've been bested by high schoolers.
I said I was gonna lock in with my answer, but I thought I was wrong.
Okay,
All right,
so
high
that's 1
schoolers?
point to us. Okay, next one.
All right.
Okay. A blank of cake. This one's easy.
Oh, this is a piece of
There
cake.
is piece and piece. There is P-I.
But you don't have the mic.
E-C-E.
You don't have the mic.
They can hear me.
No.
Okay. Well, it's okay. We got it. It's a blank of cake.
Piece, Piece.
Yeah.
I think we'll agree.
I think
All
we got the
already
same
that
one.
We already got that one.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, piece is right. PIECE. All right. Next question.
So are we tied now?
This is the
far
tiebreaker.
Okay.
Last question.
All right.
All right.
This is for the championship. High schoolers or English supervisor? Who will win? This is it.
You shouldn't blank on your stomach if it's full. Lie or lay?
Ooh, I've always had trouble with the lay. Oh,
I have
goodness.
no idea.
Can you repeat the question, the statement?
Okay.
You shouldn't blank on your stomach if it's full. Lie or lay?
I think we go with whatever she doesn't say because I have no idea.
And I'm going to tell you, this has always given me trouble. So I'm going to have to really think on this one. You shouldn't lay.
Lay.
I'm gonna say lay.
Lie down for a nap. Wait, it shouldn't.
Right. It's all about the
context of it. Don't lie on your stomach.
Don't lay on your
Means
stomach.
don't lay on. So, okay,
I
but
think
you lock in an
it's-
answer and then we'll
I
discuss.
think it's. Oh my goodness! Because like lay, L-A-Y is like when you put something down, like you lay something down.
That's a good point.
But
I did not
then,
think about that.
oh my gosh, it's tricky. I'm probably wrong, but I'm gonna lock in with you don't lie on your stomach.
Okay.
When it's
I'm
full.
going lay.
Okay. Is that just,
Lay.
okay, no, but if we think about it, we gotta think. We gotta win
Laying
this.
Your stomach on the ground.
For all the high schools out there, we gotta win this. It's okay. So when you say lie on your stomach, isn't that present? So if you say don't lie on your stomach, but so, you're agreeing with me and I'm saying nonsense.
No, you're making
It's-
sense. It's tricky.
So then, so don't.
It's just-
Okay, when you're full,
The same
don't.
word. It's just the different tenses.
Yeah, but then the starting of it was when you're full. So when you are full, future tense. Don't. It's not don't lie on your stomach
What's the
because that's
answer?
present.
We all need to be
I think
educated on this one.
I
What's
think
the
we
answer?
say
I think-
LAY
I think we're
because
locking out in LAY.
of the tense. Just so we give a reason in case we're right.
The answer.
Oh, I hope
The
I'm
answer
right.
is Lie. Lie.
English supervisor wins. Still got it. Still got it.
Yes. That
No.
was confusing. I promise you, it gave me trouble in school. I need to study that one a little bit more.
It clearly still gives us trouble in school. Currently in it.
All right,
Okay.
supervisor for the win.
Yes.
All
Do I
right.
get a trophy? Do I get a prize?
Of course, you get the honor and respect of all the viewers out there.
Okay. All right.
And a swag bag.
And a swag bag.
A
All
swag
right.
bag.
I love
Lots
it.
of swag.
Love it.
Lots of swag.
Cool.
was fun.
Okay.
I
My
like
English
that.
teacher's gonna be disappointed.
She will not.
Okay.
You put up a good fight. You had some very good logical explanations for your answers.
Yes,
It's all
that's what I was
about
going
providing
for.
the right evidence for your answers.
You see, that's what my goal was. I was just gonna say the biggest words I could think of, and just like something that might relate, and just hope that it's right, so I look smart.
That's a strategy.
Thank you.
Doesn't always work out well for people, but it is a
Clearly
strategy.
not. Okay. So what grades are you helping out with as an English teacher?
I am the elementary English supervisor for kindergarten through 5th grade.
Okay.
If you had to describe your role, what would it be?
Yeah.
What
I'm a
would
bit
you
confused on
do?
what that means.
Well, as the supervisor, it's my job to help design the curriculum that teachers use to teach the
Oh,
English.
cool.
To
Okay.
teach reading, writing, listening, and speaking and communication skills. So it's our job to design the scope of work, the scope of lessons that help our students meet their goals of being proficient on the English standards at the end of each grade level.
Nice.
Were you always interested in English, and how did you get to here? Were you a teacher?
Yes, I was a teacher. I always wanted to be a teacher. I knew that always. There was a short part of me that wanted to be a journalist because I do enjoy English, but then I realized the amount of writing that actually did, entail, and I decided, I don't want to write that much in my life. I like to talk more. So I was like, journalism is out. So then I went to my second love, which is actually interacting with children. I've always been the
Cool.
neighborhood babysitter. I always had to watch the little people in my family. So being around kids just always came naturally to me. And because I was around them all the time, then I was always engaging them in something. Like, I don't like chaos. So if you're going to be around me, we're going to have some structure. So that's just kind of one of the things that has always been with me.
Yeah.
So when I graduated high school, I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher. So I was a teacher in the classroom for 6 years. I taught kindergarten, best time of my life. Little people are the best. Don't ever ask me to go to middle school or high school. I like you all as people. I do not want to
Okay.
teach you.
We won't take offense.
Okay. Love you all as people. Don't want to teach you. I love the little people. So I was a kindergarten teacher for 6 years, and then I became an Title I reading teacher, which just kind of means that I provided intervention for students that were struggling a little bit in their literacy skills. Then I moved into becoming a district literacy specialist. So that's just the role that's right up under a supervisor that does a lot of the support work in schools to help teachers when they're coaching teachers to be better teachers and helping to write curriculum as well. And then I became the supervisor a couple of years ago. And it is a very fulfilling job. It's stressful, but I do like it. Like, I have a
Nice.
quote in my office that says, you can absolutely love what you do, but also find it overwhelming and exhausting at the same time. And I feel like that's my life every single day.
I think it's a very relatable sentiment.
Well, it's obvious that your love for English and language, you talked about the importance of communication and journalism. What do you think the importance of communication is, and like its value?
Communication is everything. The world wouldn't function if people didn't know how to communicate effectively, whether that be face-to-face, whether it be through nonverbal cues. I think it's important for people to get to know one another and be able to share their stories, share their expertise, share their just their life lessons and concerns with one another, because that helps us grow. So communication is a very important part of the human experience.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I know as students, we definitely see in high school, communication is definitely lacking. And from what I've heard from like my parents talking about their life in the real world, communication is not as strong as they would hope. Do you try to combat that when you're planning the curriculum? Like start it young so they can be prepared?
We
Okay.
do.
How do you go about that?
Like, even with our kindergartners, like right now we have adopted a very structured phonics program. So we're starting our kindergartners off really early, teaching them that letter sound correspondence,
Okay.
and then very quickly putting them together to helping them read words. And so they start off probably around like in October. Our kids are learning how to learn to read and spell those CBC words, simple words like cat and dog, using
Nice.
those consonants
Okay.
and short vowel sounds. And then we move them very quickly into taking that into dictated sentences. So students can write very simple sentences like, I like dogs, or, I am happy, or I am sad. So we do move very quickly through that progression so that our students are able to communicate really early and be able to just kind of share what they've learned when they have been receiving that phonics instruction.
Nice. So they're leaving kindergarten with the ability to form sentences.
Absolutely.
Nice. That's really good.
Absolutely.
What are the biggest challenges of trying to get that to happen with kindergarten?
Because they're 5. They're a little squirrely sometimes. So
Yeah.
having good routines and structure in your classroom is a big component, because students will rise to the occasion. They always rise to your expectations. So for us, it's really about helping the teachers understand the why behind what they're doing, and then helping them put those routines and procedures in place so that the why can become important to the students, and they can receive the instruction and then show what they know. And once students feel empowered and they really feel like, I'm a reader, I'm a writer, then they're always willing to share what they're doing. They're excited to let you see the things that they know.
Do you think you try to do you think that is maintained up until 5th grade when your curriculum is nice?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. So by the time our students leave us in 5th grade, the expectation is they can write a well-developed paragraph. So then when they move into middle school, then the teachers can expound on that and have them do multi-paragraphs. But for us, it's to write a really well-developed paragraph with elaboration and details, and stays on topic. So
Stays on topic. That's very important thing. You don't see that much now here. Like at our high school, there's definitely pitfalls there.
I think a little bit of that comes from the instant gratification and social media that we're in. You hop from one thing to another, from one reel to another. You don't stay with something as long as you used to if you were in text. So, when you're in a book, you're reading those chapters and you're sticking with that story, sticking with those characters over time. Whereas now it seems like kids are jumping from person to person. They're always interested in what's the next thing.
It's really encouraging to hear that there's 5th graders coming out with the ability to stay on topic and maintain that, because that's going to be important for our next generation of leaders and people in our world.
Yes, absolutely.
You talked about that why with teachers that you're trying to develop. As a teacher yourself, what was your why for teaching? Because
I know you guys are all, it's going to sound a little cliche because we're at YVC and you're all about service. But for me, service, I always wanted to be of service to others. I don't know if you're familiar with the 5 love languages. When I was introduced to that, I immediately found what my calling, what my gift is. And service is it. I've always wanted to do things for others, always wanted to serve others, help them become better. I'm all about reflection and how can I grow so that I can help others. So just being in education has helped me fulfill that service part of me. And it's just one of the best parts of my job.
Nice. That's just really good. It's really good for us as well, the whole service aspect of it. How do you think that service aspect is carried over in how you develop curriculum? Because obviously it's important to you. So do you try to instill that onto these kids?
Absolutely, because we also try to develop the whole child. And so we incorporate components of social emotional learning into the curriculum as well. So we always are designing opportunities for students to showcase their talents and showcase their gifts. So we are always asking for students to be able to do things a little differently, so sometimes they're not, when they're writing or doing communication pieces, it's not always a written piece. They may record in Canvas and they can showcase what they learn in that manner. We are asking them to work on projects where they can do some multimedia components. So everything doesn't have to be paper pencil. We want them to be able to showcase their expertise in a wide variety of modalities.
Yeah, that's getting more and more important nowadays.
Yeah, because you want them to be global. You want them to be digitally literate citizens.
I notice at my own squad, I notice teachers who are a little discouraged. You talked about earlier the challenges that you face, and I think sometimes you can kind of lose that that why of that service. So when you lose that, how do you get back to that? How do you remind yourself about the service?
So sometimes in my job, because we are dealing with a lot of the resource and developing the instruction, and a lot of it deals with adults, being in meetings and communicating with other people, learning from other people. And when I get mired down into that, the thing that brings me back out of it and reminds me of my why is going going to a school. Like I have to get out of the office and go to a building and be in a classroom, and just being with the kids just reignites that, because then it just reignites the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I can see the fruits of our labor, and then I also can see, well, we could have made that better, and here's how. So when you see it in action, you can take it back to your team, and we can reflect on it, refine it, and make it better for the next year, for our next group of students. So getting back into the classroom with the students and the teachers always reignites that fire.
Do you think your gift of service that you said you had, or the love language, do you think that's something you were born with, or do you think that's something you developed over time?
I'm not sure about that. I think when I became cognizant of it, it probably was something that's always been in me, probably because I'm the oldest. And my parents depended on me a lot with my younger brother. So I've always been a caretaker, and having to serve and support in our family. So it's probably something that's just been in me for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm definitely the younger side of my family and my siblings, so I never had to do that caretaking, but I definitely see that service is very important. And when you're able to push it on to the kids and show them why it's important and show them what the effects of it are, I think it's really good, and I'm glad that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any mentors or teachers, parents, friends who you felt like maybe had a similar gift for service, or you felt exemplified what you were trying to do in your own career and life?
Yes, very early on when I was a classroom teacher, my first administrator, Michael Williams Hickman, she always pushed me to do more. And so she was definitely my first educational role model when it came to service. She was the type of administrator who had high expectations, and she wanted you to do the right thing by all of our students in our building. And she would show us that, like she would lead that work. If she needed to get into a classroom, she would. She wasn't the type of principal that stayed in her office and just kind of put out orders and demands and expectations, but she would come into the classroom and she would work alongside you. And so that really showed me really what it meant to be a leader in your building. Sometimes, people have different perceptions of administrators, and some administrators do like to stay in their office and they just like to lead from behind the door. But she was one of the first ones that I really saw being an active leader in our building. And then from there, I just started to hook up with other teachers when I became a lead teacher, and I just saw others across the division taking on more of that leadership role, and it just sparked my interest as a young teacher, and it made me want to do more and kind of step outside my classroom and find other ways that I could support other teachers. And so that really ignited kind of that coaching aspect of my job in me. And then once I got on that journey, I actually met your mom. So Miss Lori Wall was one of the first people too that kind of helped develop me as a servant leader. It was always reflecting and refining the work that we do and helping to make things better for the teachers that we serve.
Nice, that's really good.
So you talked about like reflecting, refining as one of the ways that you tried to lead by example, like your mentors have. What are some other ways that you try to lead by example?
I would say humility. So being a leader, a lot of times people look up to you, and you always have to be that person to say that, to admit your mistakes when you're wrong. As a leader, people look up to you for a lot of different reasons. And sometimes leaders don't want to be vulnerable, and they always want to be perfect. They want to put out their best selves, which everybody should strive to do, but you also should be able to take a step back and admit your failures and then show how you overcome those failures and be transparent about that. So I think that's one of the really important things that I like to do as a leader. Just today, actually, we met with the reading specialist, and one of them had to take a little step out and go to a different meeting on Zoom. and she used my office. And when I got back to my office after the meeting, hours after the meeting was over, she had left me a little note, and it said, "Thanks for letting me use your office." And she said, "With all the things that we've done this year and all the struggles that we faced, you have done a great job of leading us with such grace, and I appreciate that." And I was like,
Nice.
I took
sweet.
it and I stuck it on my cabinet. So I was like, I gotta hold on to that. So I like to be that model for them, to say, I am leading you, but I'm not perfect. And
Yeah.
so there are things that I'm gonna have to come back to you and fix. I'm gonna come back to you and say I was wrong. I'm gonna come back to you and say, hey, I need some help. And I think they really do appreciate that and respect that.
Nice. It's always really good to see and hear examples of teachers going out of the way to help and have that service, and just showing that in your school. That's really great. But do you see any of the opposite side, the other side of the coin, where you see, like, especially after COVID and all that situation, teachers trying to just get by and it's declining with like the students and everything? Do you see any of that?
We do see a little bit of that, like I said, to be fully transparent. But then that's our job too, as the leaders in the building, to show our teachers that remind them of the why they got into education. Remind them that these little people that are in your charge for the 6-7 hours that you have them are the most important people right now. And everything that you do, every action that you take, every word that you say, every lesson that you deliver is important to their development. So you can't forget that. Somebody has sown that into you. And so now it's your job to pour back into our community by pouring into our children and giving them the instruction that they deserve, and not just coming and doing your bare minimum. And if you can't, if you're doing the best that you can right now, and that's all that you know, but then that's our job as coaches and as leaders to come in and support them and say, what is it that I can help you grow in at this moment that's going to help you serve your kids better? So we do have a little bit of that, especially after COVID. Teachers are tired. There's a lot that is on their plate, but it's up to us as leaders to kind of help them figure the stuff out and figure out where we can support them.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That's really good to hear admin trying to support the teachers and everything. Yeah. Well, that was really great. We always like to finish off with asking the guest what the service way means to them.
So the service way for me, I think I kind of have shared a little bit of that along the way that we talked.
Yeah.
To me, it's about being the leader that you want to be led by. So if the characteristics and traits that you want to see as in your leader, then those are the traits that you have to display as a leader as well. So being transparent, being clear with your communication and expectation, being supportive, and also being humble.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
to me, that's the service way.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas, for coming on. We appreciate your insights into service.
Yeah.
And I think you gave us something different of serving by example. I took that away myself. And your different ways that you kind of do that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
The Service Matters podcast.
Yes, it is. That's how you're talking the whole time last time. Like, can you elaborate?
Yeah. Can you elaborate?
He was at the whole time.
You like being a rapper?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can do that too.
I think we should lay it on a beat and have you start freestyling.